In our previous video, we have given you a battle between the three camera giants, Nikon, Canon, and Sony. Also, in one of our episodes, we have placed on a head-to-head challenge the powerful cameras of the two brands, the Nikon Z9 versus Canon EOS R5. Now let's try to put into a duel the other side of this triangle and see the match, Nikon Z9 versus Sony A1, to assess which is the best wildlife camera. So stick to this video to witness which of the two will stand out, and please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell. Wildlife as a photography field is on a different level. Not saying that all other fields are easy, but we give credit to the challenges of this particular field. Unlike models who pose for you, still objects that you can easily put on the backdrop and flat lays, wildlife photography is attached with moving animals and plants, dynamic weather and lighting conditions, and so much more. So in order to bring out great and amazing shots, your camera must be able to keep up with you and your surroundings. Released together in 2021, Nikon Z9 and Sony A1 are two of the monstrous full-frame cameras of these famous brands. They are both great for resisting the wildlife because they are constructed to resist the quick and rough changes in the weather, as their material is magnesium alloy. Thus, if you're willing to go through mud, not care about the rain and the winds, and ignore the striking heat of the sun, your camera should too. As to sensor type, they both carry stacked CMOS sensors. ISO range, if not extended, are on the same level. As to connection, there is no difference between the two, as both are compatible with LAN or local area network, Type-C USB, flash sync, and a port for full-size HDMI. They also have microphones and headphones, so both audio input and output are on the same level. There is not much to say also with the video resolution, as both can produce 8K Ultra HD videos. Sony A1 also has an eye detection feature that is extended to birds and other animals, while Nikon Z9 has a vehicle tracking autofocus. Some of the important capabilities to keep up with the wild. Now let's move on to the exciting parts. Starting off with Sony's advantage over Nikon. Even though both of these models carry the same stacked CMOS sensor, the Sony A1 carries higher megapixels at 50, while Nikon Z9 is at 46 megapixels. These two models also carry with them outstanding stabilization. The Sony A1 has the 5-axis optical in-body image stabilization that is advantageous for 5.5 stop. Nikon Z9, on the other hand, also has the 5-axis in-body VR. However, it is only when you add the 2-axis lens VR that you can achieve the 6.0 stops. The reason why Sony can achieve the 5.5 stops with even just the in-body stabilization is because of the gyro sensors plus its intelligent algorithms. When it comes to video stability, the Z9 can also deliver through its electronic VR. However, Sony also has this with the active mode, since this is the time that it utilizes those amazing gyro sensors to improve the takes even with so much motion. The A1 also shines when it comes to focus points, as it has 750, while Nikon has 493. It is important to choose a camera which has a lot, since this will help you in locking into your subject to get a clearer and more defined shot. This is a feature that is pretty important in wildlife photography. Another important factor is also the speed that you can take frames per second, and Sony refresh rate is at 240 frames per second with the UXGA FOV, while Nikon Z9's is 120 frames per second. The viewfinder is also one of the strong suits of the A1 over the Z9. It has the highest resolution for the viewfinder, carrying 9.44 million dots and is made of OLED. Nikon is also not bad, but it has a lower resolution at 2.1 million dots. Weight can also be the reason why you would choose the Sony A1, as it is only 737 grams compared to the Z9's 1,340 grams. Now let's move on over to the other side. Nikon Z9's greatest advantage over Sony A1 sits with the price. Although released in the same year and carries approximately the same level of features, Nikon Z9 only comes in at $5,500, while the A1 is at $6,500. So if you put a big percentage on price points, then the Z9 might be the one for you. We all know that the wildlife is so rich, pure, and colorful, and this is where the Z9 placed its focus. It has a color depth of 26.3, while the A1 only has 25.9. As to the dynamic range, it has 14.8, while Sony's is at 14.5. These two features are what brings out the best in your subjects. It will give the sharpest pictures with the very intricate details. A wider range will also allow you to achieve this quality even at challenging lighting conditions. When it comes to that, to the ability to capture vivid shots, despite all the movements that go about in the wild, Nikon probably has the best features to adapt. Continuous shooting is at 30 frames per second, while the A1 is only at 10. There are also two important capabilities that the Z9 has and the A1 does not: focus bracketing and focus stacking. Focus bracketing is a technique where the camera takes multiple pictures of one and the same subject from different focus distances. Focus stacking then tries to blend all those pictures together to create the most defined version you can possibly get. A formidable combo to have in wildlife photography, right? Another advantage of the Nikon Z9 is its practicality as well as the camera's ability to keep up with you in the wild. First is the tilting. Both the A1 and the Z9 have tilting screens. However, Nikon has a wider one at 3.2 inches, while Sony's is at 3 inches. A wider screen may come in handy, especially if you are taking pictures in different challenging angles. Another practical advantage is the battery life. Going into the field would strip off your power source, so a long-lasting camera would probably be the best to tag along with you. Nikon Z9 can take up to 740 shots, while Sony A1 can only do 530. Lastly, illuminated buttons are pretty handy when you reach the nighttime so that you can still see the controls as you continue on your shots. Nikon Z9 has this, while the A1 does not. That ends the Nikon Z9 versus Sony A1 battle. Which is the best wildlife camera? Well, both of them are great to bring with you to the wild, but the best option would be the one that suits what you are looking for. If you seek better stabilization, more focus points, faster shutter speed, higher resolution for the viewfinder, and much lighter, then the Sony A1 is the camera for you. But if you give more weight to the price point, color depth, dynamic range, continuous shooting, more detailed pictures because of the focus bracketing and stacking, a wider screen, and longer battery life, then the Nikon Z9 will probably be your choice. Regardless of which of these two you end up choosing or buying, it will not be a waste since they are both packed with a lot of features that make them the best wildlife cameras. If you visit and subscribe to our channel, you will see more informative videos such as the top 5 best cameras for wildlife photography and so much more. Please don't forget to like this video and hit the notification bell to be the first one to know every time we have new videos. Choose wisely.